works for about 3 years. And this is supposed to be one of the hot up-and-coming graphic designers here in Miami Beach. And I was introduced to him by my managing marketing director, Miss Jessica. And Jenny works and does all the social media and the photography for the gallery. Make sure everybody's up to date and keep up with all the projects we're working on. There's a lot of moving parts to this, so it takes a team of people to make it happen. This gentleman here is going to kind of take what's been worked on for the last 3 years and going to take it to the next level, because we feel like it's a very strong presentation, but we think it's missing a lot of the details, and he's going to critique and give us some ideas on how he's going to make it better. And we're all about making things better.
Hot nights coming.
So Jenny has a lot of new photos and things that we want to add to the book. That's one of the things we want to talk to you today. What we're going to do is give you a disc of a lot of the new works. We'll flag the ones that we want to put in the book. And then you can, when you look at the layout, you can decide which you feel is a strong point or where they should be in the book.
It takes a team to move mountains. This is not a solo exhibition. Write that down. What I just said. I love it. It's a quote that's going in the book.
Cold, I fell into your skin on the night you led me under your sin. You had me howling. You had me howling.
This is Leslie Rosner.
Excuse me, Mr. Rosner. Mr. Rosner's Mr. Liggins. So
Mr. and Mr.
right, okay.
So, with that being said,
We got
Inspired.
Yeah, we're inspired now. See?
Inspired by the
Little
designer.
Woman helps the interior decorator is here. My artist friend is here. You have put so much happiness into my life, both of you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
it
you.
made me feel special. I live with you, with your art, every day. And it brings happiness and a sense of good feeling to me every day.
Well, I am speechless by those words.
And I believe in you because I feel
On the ride of God we fell. You were plush and dolly bed. You had me howling cold.
It's exciting, it's comforting, it's interesting, it's beautiful, it's exciting. So I pass it 1,000 times. But every time I pass it, I see something else I like it. You don't get bored. It's not just a piece of work, okay? It's a piece of life.
Anthony Liggins has given me a fantastic opportunity to show my work not only alongside his during Art Basel 2014, the contrast between my figurative work and his abstract work I think sets up a really interesting vibration, visual vibration in the gallery.
With the eyes, wallflower. With the eyes, with the eyes, with the eyes. When they land.
Welcome, we're here celebrating our show Kiss Kiss Bang Bang 2014 Art Basel, and I just wanted to thank you on behalf of Gallery 88 and Anthony Liggins for being here. We had a great show, we enjoyed the great music, wine, food, so thank you.
I have to tell you, this special lady right here has inspired probably 60 or 70 of my newest works, and she has a special place in my life. I love her very much, and Paula, he's, you know, I don't know what to say. I mean, you're just this amazing individual, and you have an amazing heart. You have a big heart, and thank you for being in my life and being a part of what we're all about, and hopefully this is a continuation of today and for years and years to come.
When they land on me.
Come from your house, making some shirts, to being on South Beach in your own gallery. So it's been a ride. It's been an amazing ride.
All the lights, all the shadows, they fall away. Darkness and fall away. All the lights, all the shadows, they fall.
Another round of applause for all the collectors from around the country and world, because without you, none of this would exist. We appreciate you supporting not just me, but other artists in the U.S., outside of the U.S., that has a dream and a goal and an inspiration to inspire people through art. And now, we will introduce to you, which I see as the Latin version of the Dave Matthews Band, Panacea Project.
Yo no lo puedo negar, se me sale la babita, yo no lo puedo evitar, en mi habitación se llenará de verde agua de mar, verde que me pierde, más y más sin más te quiero, quiéreme. Expand your mind with the nocturnal vibe.
And we just finished performing here at our friend's Anthony Liggins gallery exhibition, and we just had a great time and supporting our awesome friend Anthony Liggins.
It was awesome.
The end. The sky is the beginning of a new frontier.
Where do you go from here? You know, it's really wide open because the sky is no longer the limit anymore. With technology and everything, you can reach millions and millions of people around the world, and you never know who's watching. So you got to constantly try to put out the very best work you can possibly do. And you got to live for the moment, meaning that you try to put all the years and years of what your philosophy is as a creative being on canvas, and hopefully people connect with it. I was a fashion designer for 14, 15 years, and it taught me many different things that relates to what I'm doing now. And one of the things that it taught me was the philosophy of color when you're creating a collection. So, a lot of times people say, wow, that's a big difference. Coming from being a fashion designer, then going into being a painter it's not a common thing, but there's a convergence, and I think it's a beautiful thing when you have art, fashion, music, poetry. When you are able to converge all those things together, I think it's a really, really beautiful thing. A lot of times what I see in my mind doesn't necessarily comes out on the canvas that way. It's really interesting. There's it's almost like a metamorphosis process. A movement happens to me where I'm speaking to the canvas, and then there's this spiritual dance that happens in my mind, my connection to the higher calling, when I'm flowing, and the music is flowing, and the energy is flowing. What happens is certain colors come to me, and as I see it materialize on the canvas, I pull from my philosophy of colors that I think will sing and dance together. A lot of my paintings, I do a lot of texturizing. And the reason why I do that is because I wanted to bring some of the influence of when I was a fashion designer incorporated into my artwork. So you have the abstract movement, and okay, it's interesting color palette, interesting flow. And then I said, you know what? I need to take it to another level to separate me from all the other abstract painters that's out there. So I decided to start stitching the canvas, which everything has a symbolic meaning to me. Obviously to you, you can interpret it any way you want to interpret it, but for me, the stitching represents the connecting of all cultures. I think we have to grow together, stick together, and we have to all live here on this earth, so we have to get along, and we learn from each other and, you know, and share different moments and experiences. I think that's a very important element to my work. I spent some time in Hong Kong, in Thailand, different parts of Asia, and I noticed that for nourishment, the way we use utensils here, they use chopsticks. It's a way of life for them. They use them to feed themselves. So I would go into these restaurants, and I heard this incredible rhythm. It was like, and it was very abstract, and I was like, and it was like, they eat very fast. And they had the bowl, and you hear the stick scraping against the bowl, and you hear all these people doing this at the same time, and they move the chopsticks with a melody. And I was like, wow, that is fascinating. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna start incorporating chopsticks in a lot of my work. And I started wrapping with these beautiful color yarns because I wanted the chopstick not to just be a symbolic piece of wood with a curvature movement sitting on the canvas. I wanted it to connect with the abstract of colors. And I said, well, what can I do to do that? I started using Japanese yarns. So I used the Japanese yarns and I hand wrapped the chopsticks to put and attach it onto the canvas to give the feeling of a connection between the chopstick and the colors on the canvas. This is not what you call your typical gallery, okay? My goal was to do a space that spoke a dialogue through the creative abstract process. So when people walked in, they don't see the art lined up in the back studio. They see it visually on the walls, and it kind of tells a story. My story as a creative being. Who is Anthony Liggins? And I think this piece is done, my friend.